Okay, we're here this morning to announce the kickoff of a process that will allow residents of the barrier island communities of Pinellas County to safely re-enter after a mandatory evacuation order. When there is a state of emergency that's declared by the governor and as a result of a storm or other natural disaster, it's up to local officials to effect a mandatory evacuation. It's generally done in Pinellas County under county ordinance that tasks that authority and responsibility to the chair of the Board of County Commissioners, among others. And once the evacuation order is effected and people are gone, the next major task is for people to re-enter. And under that ordinance, it tasks the sheriff with responsibility for that re-entry process. We recognized a while ago that we had I'll kind of characterize it, I guess, as a disjointed process throughout the county, where we had some cities that were doing it one way, some that were doing it others, and some had no process at all. And as that saying goes, failing to plan is planning to fail. So we wanted to make sure that this is one of those processes that we're prepared for and that we hope that we'll never need. So we coordinated with the beach cities, the barrier island cities, from Clearwater all the way down to St. Pete Beach and into Tierra Verde. And we have representatives from many of those beach cities who we partnered with here this morning, and I want to just briefly recognize them. We have Mayor George Criticus from Clearwater, along with Police Chief Dan Slaughter, R.B. Johnson, the mayor of Indian Rocks Beach, Bert Adams, the mayor of Redington Shores, Bob Minning, the mayor of Treasure Island, Jim Lawrence, the mayor of Indian Shores, Travis Palladino, the mayor of Madeira Beach, Tim Lant, who's a director with the Tierra Verde Homeowners Association. Of course, that's an unincorporated part of Pinellas County. And Robert Schmidt, who's the mayor of Belleair Shore. So Florida, as we know, is the #1 area that's been hit over the years by these storms. So again, it's important that we be prepared. There are over 40,000 homes and business owners on the barrier islands, again, from Clearwater all the way down to Tierra Verde. So over the next week is that mailers will go out to all 40,000 of those business owners and residents. And because we had this disjointed process, we're going to implement a process and a protocol and a program where each city will be given these color-coded hang tags that you see here on the chart. And each residence will be given 2 of them. And businesses and business owners will be given them as well for the owners and, importantly, for their employees. We recognize as we undertook this process that it's very important that non-resident business owners and their employees be able to get back into those beach communities and look after their businesses and make the fixes that are necessary after this mandatory evacuation. So as opposed to having law enforcement, having deputies and police officers from the various police departments stationed at all of these points, all the bridges and all the places you can get back to the barrier islands, and trying to figure out is that does somebody belong, can they come back in, and again, he had this varied way of tracking who could, is that we're now, in cooperation with all of these mayors and all of the beach communities, going to have one process all the way from Clearwater down to Tierra Verde, where the deputies will have barcode scanners. The residents and business owners will have these hang tags. It'll make it a very orderly process. The thing that we're most concerned about is that those communities are safe and that we don't have people who are coming into those communities who don't belong there. So that, and you can see is that there's a color code for each one, and that we don't have people who are, as an example, a resident of St. Pete Beach that are up in Belleair Beach, and people who are residents of Clearwater Beach aren't moving up and down Gulf Boulevard, that they're there where they need to be because they need to get to their home, they need to get to their business, and they need to tend to those affairs that they need to as a result of the storm that came through. So with the barcode scanners, and we printed 97,000 hang tags, and we purchased about 100 of these scanners, and we'll be able to have law enforcement officers at all of these entry and exit points. So as people are coming into the barrier islands, they'll scan in. As they're leaving, they'll be able to be scanned and exit. The software that we are using is in-house. Pinellas County Sheriff's Office developed software. The Sheriff's Office is funding this program. The cost of the hang tags was about $30,000. The cost of the scanners is about $11,000. And then again, we developed all the software in-house. So we brought it to the mayors last year, and all of the cities agreed and thought it was a good idea to be consistent with what we were doing. So again, this registration process will begin, and we hope to have everybody registered before the start of the hurricane season this year. And one of those things that we will this year be in better shape and be prepared for, but hope we never have to use. And so with that, that's the process. You can see from the maps and the reentry points that are there. There's a limited number of reentry points, all the way up from Clearwater all the way down to Tierra Verde. Each community, again, will have its own hang tag. These are the cities, and the cities are going to, we're providing the hang tags and the software to the cities, and the cities will be the ones that are responsible for registering their residents in those individual cities. So we're providing all of the infrastructure, and the cities in partnership are going to make sure that people get registered. Again, we're very sensitive in this to the business owners and recognizing that how important it is that they and their employees be able to get back onto those beaches and get their businesses cleaned up and running. So a lot of thought, a lot of work, and importantly, a lot of partnership with the individual beach communities. And whenever a decision is made about reentry, it's going to be done in a collaborative way with all of the elected officials and leaders from all of these communities, so that we make sure that it's orderly and, most importantly, it's safe, but recognizing that strong desire of all of these residents and business owners to get back to their property as quickly as they can. So with that, I'll open it up. If anybody want to, anybody want anything they want to add, or anybody, Mayor, anybody have anything? Okay.
You're very eloquent.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
On behalf of all of the mayors, we want to thank the sheriff for working with us on this. As he reiterated several times, this is a system that we hope we never have to use. But our residents need to understand, when the order to evacuate comes forth, they need to follow that. We don't want to have to waste resources trying to track you down in a condominium or in a home that nobody can get to because you didn't evacuate. And this system will enable us to keep track of our residents a whole lot better than we used to. So, Sheriff, on behalf of all of us, our police departments, thank you very much for providing the leadership. And as you say, God willing, we will never, ever have to implement this system. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.